Dozens of aid trucks crossed into Gaza as preparations are underway to ramp up aid entering into the war-battered strip. Beginning Sunday, the amount of trucks entering into Gaza will increase to 600 per day, as outlined in the ceasefire agreement. It comes as tens of thousands of displaced Palestinians return home to Gaza City and the north of the Strip, where the vast majority of neighborhoods lie in ruins. The World Bank estimated more than $50 billion, equivalent to roughly 43 billion euros, is needed to rebuild Gaza.
أو أي حتى الله يعز السامعين لا تصلح للعيش الكلاب فيها. منطقة صعبة فيها الحياة، لا وجود ماء ولا وجود صرف صحي ولا وجود حتى نتفة رمل تفردها تقعد ترتاح عليها.
Meanwhile, world leaders are scheduled to convene in Egypt on Monday for a peace summit. The meeting, set to take place in Sharm el-Sheikh, will include a formal signing ceremony for the peace plan.
Large crowds gathered in Tel Aviv on Saturday evening to rally ahead of the expected release of hostages from Gaza. They applauded U.S. President Donald Trump, and some booed Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff addressed the crowd.
We all owe a debt of deep gratitude to President Trump. In the worst of times, he refused to accept the idea that peace in the Mideast was out of reach. To Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu,
Israelis hugged each other in celebration, but also in grief, at a rally they hoped would be their last. Around 20 of the 48 hostages remaining in Gaza are expected to be alive. The return of the last hostages is imminent and could start as early as Sunday night, with its completion expected by noon on Monday. Voters in Portugal cast ballots on Sunday in local elections, with attention on the mayoral race in Lisbon after a deadly streetcar crash last month. The election is seen as a key test after the far-right Chega party became the second largest force in the country's parliament in a snap national election just 5 months ago. The municipal elections could be decisive in expanding the presence of the far-right throughout the country, with the Chega party having its first real chance at electing mayors, especially in the Alentejo and Algarve regions. In the country's two biggest cities, Lisbon and Porto, a tight race is expected between the center-left and the center-right. In the capital, last month's deadly streetcar crash cast a shadow over current mayor Carlos Moedas' re-election plans. But many say their vote is influenced far more by other issues in the city, such as housing policies, as Lisbon continues to feel strain from a surge in tourists and real estate prices.
The European Union's new Digital Entry and Exit Scheme, EES, which involves registering the fingerprints of people from third-party countries and taking their photographs before they enter 29 EU countries, came into force on Sunday. Major airports in Italy began their implementation on Sunday, while Germany began its gradual phase in Stuttgart. According to the European Union, the new system will improve the efficiency and security of border crossings. Non-EU citizens will have to pass through the biometric system to enter and exit the bloc, with their data being stored in the cloud for at least 3 years. The system is expected to eventually replace the old-fashioned system of physically stamping passports, which doesn't allow for automatic detection of people who have exceeded their authorized stay of 90 days within 180 days. But experts are warning that non-EU nationals will need to stop for a longer time before a passport control officer or self-service kiosk at airports, ports, and international rail terminals. The EU Commission, however, says the system could temporarily be suspended during the first 6 months of implementation if wait times become too long or there are technical issues.